Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'll talk about hydrogen cars. You've likely heard a lot about electric vehicles lately, as well as news about legislation to reduce carbon emissions from vehicles. But there's another kind of zero emission vehicle, one that only emits water vapor as it carries you down the road. That's the hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. Since 2015, three hydrogen powered cars have been offered for sale by three different car companies: Honda, Hyundai, and Toyota. Toyota, the most common, devoted to hydrogen power as an alternative to battery electric vehicles, has sold roughly 10,700 Mirai sedans across two generations in the US, though in some periods it resorted to substantial discounting to move them. A hydrogen fuel cell vehicle uses the same kind of electric motor to turn the wheels that a battery electric car does, but it's powered not by a large heavy battery, but by a fuel cell stack with which pure hydrogen passes through a membrane to combine with oxygen from the air, producing the electricity that turns the wheel plus water vapor. What this means is that the fuel cell vehicle is technically a series hybrid, which is why they're sometimes classified as fuel cell hybrid electric vehicles. You may hear that hydrogen is the most common element in the whole universe. At the atomic level, that's true, but hydrogen is never found in its pure state. It's always combined with other elements. Its strong propensity to bind with anything in sight makes it a good energy carrier. Creating pure hydrogen for vehicles requires using a great deal of energy to crack a compound, like natural gas, into pure H2 with CO2 as a byproduct. In practice, the driver in an HFCV will find the experiments almost identical to driving a battery electric vehicle, though perhaps not one of the faster ones. There's no transmission, and the car includes regenerative braking to recapture wasted energy as it slows down. The fuel cell in the Toyota Mirai, the best-selling hydrogen car in the US, is rated at 120 horsepower, but that's not enough to accelerate onto a fast-moving highway. So Toyota adds a high-voltage, low-capacity battery, very similar to those used in gasoline-electric hybrid vehicles. HFCVs are widely considered as safe as any other car, since the high-pressure tanks are designed to survive even the highest speed crashes without leaking or breaching. The hydrogen tanks and their hardware would likely survive even if the rest of the car were destroyed in a crash. No injuries or deaths specific to the hydrogen components have been recorded in the relatively small number of HFCVs sold to date. HFCVs have some of the same positive features as battery electric cars. They're smooth, quiet, and peaceful to drive, and they emit no carbon dioxide or other harmful exhaust out of their tailpipes, just water vapor. There are a few disadvantages, however. The most challenging is the availability of hydrogen fuel. While plans a decade ago called for California to have 100 hydrogen stations by now, in reality the number is about 60. Most problematic, not all those stations are online and available for fuel at all times. Fueling a hydrogen car comes naturally over time, but aligning the heavy nozzle and sealing it properly so the car and pump can communicate electronically can require some practice. Today's stations can only often fuel 2 to 5 vehicles before they go online for up to half an hour to repressurize. The main contrast and biggest disadvantage of hydrogen cars compared to EVs is that they're similar to gasoline cars in that they can't be refueled or recharged at home overnight. But unlike gasoline cars, for which there's a well-developed set of more than 100,000 fuel stations worldwide, hydrogen drivers are utterly dependent on both a reliable supply of the gas itself and available high-pressure fueling station. Currently, a kilogram of hydrogen costs between $10 and $17 at California hydrogen stations, which equals about $5 to $8.5 per gallon of gasoline to cover the same distance. To offset this disadvantage, Honda, Hyundai, and Toyota have all offered the lessees and buyers free hydrogen fuel for various periods. After those expire, however, the driver is on their own. And if hydrogen can be compared to gasoline at $5 to $8.5 a gallon, note that charging an EV overnight usually equates to gasoline at just $1 to $2 a gallon. If you're in California and you're interested in a zero-emission vehicle powered by an electric motor, a hydrogen vehicle may be worth considering. But at the moment, it's something of a risk. That's all for this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.